Students in Waterloo are supporting a former teacher after accusations he dragged a student down a hallway.
And a Wisconsin sheriff wants hunters to keep their eyes peeled for anything suspicious out in the woods as he continues to search for a missing 13-year-old.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning. You made it to Friday, November 16th, waking up to what I thought was maybe grapple out there. I misdiagnosed it. I thought I had it all figured out, but that's why we have Hattie McLean doing the weather and not me.
Yeah, it was snow. Temperatures are a little warmer, but keep in mind that you may see some slippery spots on your way into work this morning. Alert day is still in the forecast. This is for snow that we're expecting tonight into tomorrow morning. So another round of snow coming. This one will likely stick across southern Wisconsin. 1 to 4 inches of snow expected by Saturday morning. Still a small risk for some freezing drizzle to mix in, but mainly we're looking at that snow. Winter weather advisories are already in effect for southwestern Wisconsin. Here's a look at Doppler track this morning. That light snow overnight has come to an end. It's already moved out of the area, mainly dry through the day. Take a look at our temperatures. 36 degrees now in Madison. We're actually up 2 degrees from last hour. 39 in Boscobel and 37 in Janesville. Even Watertown and Juneau now are at or above freezing. Temperatures will climb into the upper 30s to around 40 later today. So not that bad, but a northwesterly wind will keep a chill in the air. I don't think it's going to feel quite that warm. Your first alert traffic this morning. I saw that some of the crews had put some salt down on roads on my way into work. Just be aware that bridges and overpasses especially might be a little slick this morning. No accidents or delays though to report right now, so you're going at posted speeds heading into Madison.
Man, that is good news considering I know I had a few questionable moments, not full out slides or anything, but
yeah, the road went from wet to snow covered in just a couple feet.
Oh, most definitely. All right, be careful out there and thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
First this morning, a Waterloo teacher accused of dragging a 5-year-old student through a hallway is receiving support from his community after officially resigning from the district. Dozens of Waterloo parents and students gathered out front of the elementary school last night. They say the teacher was well known for his compassion and how much he cared about his students' education. The school district says it is cooperating with law enforcement on an investigation into the matter. Waterloo police, though, say they are not recommending any charges at this time.
The Barron County Sheriff is asking hunters for their help this weekend as he continues to search for the missing 13-year-old Jamie Kloss. Jamie's now been missing for a month. Her parents were found shot dead inside their home in Barron. Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald says he is not giving up on finding Kloss, and he's asking anyone out hunting across the state over the next 9 days to report anything suspicious they might come across. Investigators have followed up on at least 2,300 tips on Kloss and her disappearance. The FBI is still offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads to finding her.
Baraboo students will have school as scheduled today after a series of posts on social media spread a rumor about the threat of a school shooting. The Baraboo Police Department said in a Facebook post last night that they have been in contact with the person who posted about that rumor, along with school administration, and that there is no credible threat to the school this morning.
Meanwhile, the Baraboo community will continue talking about ways to move forward after a photo of a group of high schoolers made its way around the world this week. The people who came out to last night's forum were split up into groups that all came up with 3 ideas, 3 things that they want to accomplish as a city after a picture of young men showing an anti-Semitic gesture went viral. Now, some neighbors say the situation has got a bit carried away. Others say they weren't surprised to see this kind of racism come to light. Most in attendance, though, agreed that this is a teaching moment for their city. The organizers are planning for more brainstorming sessions in the future.
Governor Walker had something to say about that controversial photo in some of his first comments since the election.
Well, I think they're just stupid. I think they're idiots. I mean, it's as simple as that. I mean, I don't know where it's any more complicated than that. They're just a bunch of idiots. Some trying to, brush it off as youth or indiscretion, but it's still, they're idiots.
Governor Walker told reporters yesterday he'd also like to be remembered for his work as a reformer. He says his loss wasn't a rejection, but the result of large voter turnout. As for what's next, he wouldn't say whether President Trump had offered him a cabinet position, but he did say he doesn't have much interest in going to Washington. We will have more on Governor Walker's statements coming up later on in the program.
All right, more than 8 months and $21 million later, Monroe Street is still under construction. That project was supposed to be finished by today.
Unfortunately for neighbors and business owners around there, that is not the case, but the end is in sight. Christina Laurie is live along Monroe Street this morning with the construction project's manager. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, ladies. In the scope of construction projects, managers pretty much hit their mark. This street will reopen two-way traffic for the first time in more than 8 months next Wednesday. That's just 1 day before the Thanksgiving travel rush and 2 days before Small Business Saturday, 2 days before Black Friday and 3 days before Small Business Saturday. We're joined this morning by Jim Wolf, who has been the project's construction manager overseeing this the whole time. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what are some of the biggest changes that drivers can see?
One of the main changes is going to be the nice smooth pavement out here. If everyone remembers last year how potted and potholed the pavement was, it was very rutted, it was in very poor condition. But in addition to that, we made a number of pedestrian improvements out here at Knickerbocker is one of our raised intersections. It's kind of like a large mild speed hump with some colored crosswalks to really get some visibility to the pedestrian crossings, also slowing down traffic a little bit. We installed new pedestrian scale lighting in all of the business areas, which you can see behind us here. So those are some of the primary changes that we did that are going to be really visible.
And there are a lot of changes that people won't be able to see. Can you talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, absolutely. With the project, we also installed new water mains, new sewer mains, new storm sewer. So those utilities were roughly 100 years old, maybe even older. So we replaced all of the underground utilities, the services to the properties, installed new storm sewer to help improve drainage out here as well. So there's actually over 7 miles worth of pipe work that we did with the project. So a lot of the work that was done out here is actually underground.
Wow, that's really incredible. We're actually going to keep Jim here with us. He has a lot more knowledge to share. We'll talk to him in about 30 minutes about the future construction projects that are already in the works here in Madison, because as we know here in Wisconsin, construction season really never ends.
That's a very good point. Good to hear that. Good to see Jim, too. That's one of my old buddies. Say hi to Jim there for me. All right, Christina Laurie reporting.
He was just saying.
Christina Laurie reporting live for us. Thanks, Christina.
6:07 right now. This afternoon, Packers coach Mike McCarthy will be talking about his team being winless on the road so far this season after a loss against the Seahawks last night. It looked pretty good at first for the Packers. They took an early lead in Seattle, starting the game with a fumble recovery. That was the first play. Aaron Rodgers ended the first half, with a pass to running back Aaron Jones. That's number 33's first touchdown reception as a pro football player. And he celebrated, rightfully so, with a little dance. That put the Pack up 21-17. Fast forward to the fourth, though, about 5 minutes to go. Packers had a lead, but then that happened. Former Badger Russell Wilson finds Ed Dickson in the end zone, and that'll do it. Packers lose by 3. They are now 4-5-1 on the season. They will have a bit of a longer break before playing the Vikings in Minnesota the Sunday after Thanksgiving. There's only a 30% chance, by the way, now that the Packers will make the playoffs.
That is a painful statistic.
Yeah, for a team used to, and it's for fans used to making it to the playoffs. Yikes.
Not great. All right, Harry Potter fans, grab a butterbeer, maybe a chocolate frog, or some every flavor beans, because the sequel film about magical beasts in the U.S. version of the Wizarding World is out this weekend. Our film critic Will Loper has a preview.
If you are choosing hunting over the movie theater this weekend, Hattie says you might be in for some snow or freezing rain in the morning. Her first alert forecast is coming up on News 3 this morning.
Good morning from the patio. We had a little bit of fresh snow overnight, added up to just a dusting in most areas, but there may be some slippery spots on the roads as you head out the door, so keep that in mind early today. We have another round of snow on the way for tonight. An alert day is in the forecast for Saturday morning, mainly due to this snow. It is going to accumulate, adding up to 1 to 4 inches across southern Wisconsin, so slightly higher than what we expected yesterday at this time. And the storm has also shifted a little bit further to the north, so those bands of heavier snow are likely to be just north of Madison instead of along the state line. There still is the potential for a little bit of freezing drizzle as well. Here's a look at the winter weather bulletins that are in effect for this particular storm. For the west central and southwestern corner of the state, the National Weather Service in La Crosse has issued a winter weather advisory starting 6 p.m. this evening and going until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, the snow that we had overnight has already exited the area, so no snow falling right now, and most of the day will be dry. Look at the wider view, though, and you'll see that our next storm is already on the map with some mixed precipitation breaking out across the Dakotas and Montana this morning. That is headed for southern Wisconsin later on today. I mentioned, though, that most of the day will be dry. You should be able to make it to and from work without any snow falling. After 8 or 9 o'clock, that's when our snow chances really start to ramp up here across southern Wisconsin, and it's mainly an overnight event. Temperatures are technically quite a bit warmer than they were this time yesterday. Anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees warmer this morning. Here are the actual numbers. I think yesterday at this time we were at 16. We're at 36 here in Madison this morning, 37 in Platteville, and even 39 in Boscobel. Winds, though, are a little bit of a factor this morning. It's a west-northwesterly wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour, so in some spots, wind chills are in the upper 20s. We're going to be dealing with that same wind through the day today, so that'll keep a chill in the air. Cloudy skies this morning, according to Future Track, and I agree. It's definitely cloudy outside this morning. We may see the clouds start to break up for just a short time this afternoon, so a little sun is possible as highs reach the upper 30s and low 40s. Now, clouds are rolling quickly, and again, after 8 o'clock, that snow starts to spread into southern Wisconsin. It comes to an end pretty quickly on Saturday morning, but if you have travel planned early tomorrow morning, might want to allow a little extra time to get to your destinations. Roads are likely to be snow covered and slippery. It's then just cold for the rest of the day on Saturday. Take a look at that extended forecast and you'll see that temperatures stay on the cold side, but the weather pattern quiets down. No precipitation in the forecast then again until Friday, so it looks like it will stay dry through the Thanksgiving holiday. Now let's get a look at your first alert traffic this morning with Jason Stone. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. No major incidents on the Beltline as motorists are driving at the posted speed limit. We are seeing some delays on the Stoughton and Verona Road interchanges. Motorists are seeing brake lights on Verona Road between the Beltline and Highway PD in both directions. Otherwise, roads heading into Madison are clear. Traffic flow is steady downtown. The heaviest traffic has been found on East Wash at Blair Street. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Hattie. All right, this weekend, Wingardium Leviosa yourself into theaters for the newest film in the Harry Potter universe.
I am proud of you for pronouncing that correctly. I'm not sure if I know. I would have to listen to it a few times, remind myself. The movie is Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, and here to preview is our film critic, Will Loper.
Morning.
You feeling magical?
I'm feeling a little magical. We'll see. Nifflers, Bowtruckles, Swoopers, and a young hunky Dumbledore.
Ooh.
Looks a lot like Jude Law. Now, if you understood everything I said, you're probably a Harry Potter fan and you're excited for this weekend's movie. If it sounded like gibberish, well, maybe this will help. Take a look.
The moment has come to take our rightful place in the world where we wizards were free. Join me or die.
Eddie Redmayne is back as Newt Scamander, using his trunk of magical creatures to track down the evil wizard criminal, Grindelwald.
I take it you've heard the rumors. Grindelwald had a vision that he would rise to dominance over the wizarding world.
So you're asking me to help hunt him down? I can't move against Grindelwald. It has to be you.
Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald is rated PG-13.
Okay, so I'm a crazy Harry Potter fan. But
Okay.
You said J.K. Rowling is behind all of these.
Yeah, now, did you see the first Fantastic Beasts?
I did.
Did you like it?
It was, I'm a loyalist. It was okay.
Yeah, it left me a little
Nice.
cold,
Yeah.
so I'm a little hesitant about this weekend too. But she, this is the second one. She says she's got 5 in the can ready to go, which is crazy to me.
Plenty
Yeah.
of room to move on up then with them.
I completely agree. Yes.
Busy lady. And the effects in that just look
Oh.
unbelievable.
Yeah, they do look fantastic.
Hey.
Absolutely.
I see what you did
But I
there.
can't imagine Dumbledore young. I always
Right.
assumed he just came out as a baby, bearded and old, and
Exactly.
it's just Jude Law,
Benjamin Button
young.
kinda style.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I gotta wrap my head around that.
That is
You're
very
gonna go
funny.
see that this weekend?
Yes, I am indeed. Reviews on Monday.
We'll see you on Monday.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Good to
You too.
see you. All right, your time right now is 6:17, and ladies, there is a one-stop shop to maybe get a new outfit, get a workout in, and get some health advice, as well as some crafting expertise this weekend. We are looking ahead to all of those female empowerment things happening at this year's Women's Expo that's coming up.
And Hattie is previewing the slushy mix we might be waking up to Saturday morning. Exactly, Danica. Your forecast is next on News 3 This Morning.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Hattie McLean. A little bit of light snow overnight, but nothing to cancel school this morning. So wake up, kids. It's time to go to school today. Temperatures are a little warmer, but there is some snow in the forecast for tomorrow, just in time to play in on Saturday. 1 to 4 inches of snow is expected, so tomorrow is an alert day. All that snow from overnight, though, has already exited the area. Skies are just cloudy this morning. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s in most spots, so definitely a milder start to the day. Your bus stop weather forecast has temps that will stay in the low 30s with cloudy skies as you head to school. Maybe a little sunshine for the afternoon, but breezy and still chilly with a high of just 40 degrees. Again, that alert day in the forecast for tomorrow with 1 to 4 inches of snow on the way tonight. Have a wonderful day.
All right, Hattie, thank you so much. There will be some serious girl power in Madison this weekend. The Madison Women's Expo is celebrating its 20th year. The two-day event will get underway tomorrow at the Alliant Energy Center, offering hundreds of exhibits and activities that cover health and fitness, crafts, and overall female empowerment. The expo runs from 10 to 4 tomorrow and Sunday. Tickets are $7 in advance, and they do include, ladies, listen up, free spa services and fitness classes.
Before that, the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine is getting a head start on some of those women health related topics today. Their 10th annual Innovations in Women's Health Conference starts at 7 this morning over at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive, so just across the street. Sessions will cover topics like disparities in breast cancer care, sexual health, and opioid use during pregnancy. You do have to register to attend. You can find the details on how to do that over on the university's website. The Dane County Literacy Network is getting the biggest donation it's gotten in 44 years. The Oscar Renenbaum Foundation is awarding them a $300,000 grant over the next 3 years to support English learners who are working toward degrees at Madison College. Students involved in the program for 2 years showed a significant boost in test scores and attendance rates and were more likely to enroll in another semester. Across all of Dane County, the Literacy Network serves about 1,000 people each year.
There's an effort underway in Middleton to make sure everyone is staying warm this winter. The city's Tourism Commission is working with the Middleton Outreach Ministry to collect new or gently used coats and other winter clothing. They started collecting those items this week and will continue that effort through January 2nd. Now, this is all part of the State Tourism Department's Bundle Up campaign. All of the items, though, donated in Middleton will stay local to help families in need there. Now, you can drop off at coats, I should say, off at the Middleton Public Library, Common Ground, the Little Gym of Middleton, and the Capitol Ice Arena.
Speaking of donating, the Goodman Community Center will give out Thanksgiving baskets to thousands of families in need in the Madison area starting tomorrow. WISC-TV is proud to once again partner with the Community Center and the UW Athletic Department for that effort. Right now, we need everything from frozen turkeys to stuffing mix and canned vegetables. You can drop those items off at the Goodman Community Center's gym. For more information on how and when to do that, head over to channel3000.com. All right, Governor Walker is talking to news reporters for the first time since the election. We're going to get his thoughts on his loss, working with President Trump, and what he's hoping for the Republican legislature coming up.
And the FDA wants to ban certain popular cigarettes and cigars in hopes of helping kids stay away from those popular products. We will take a look at what that agency is proposing and how it would affect shops around Madison when News 3 This Morning returns.
In his last few weeks in office, Governor Walker still has a few things on his agenda that could impact how much his replacement is able to get done.
And construction complete, well, almost. We're in the final countdown for the 8-month-long $21 million Monroe Street construction project, when drivers can expect this road to fully reopen to two-way traffic.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 This Morning. It is 6:28 now on this Friday, November 16th. And I know a lot of folks, a lot of neighbors, a lot of businesses are hoping that road can be opened by the holiday shopping season.
Yeah, we'll get more on that in just a minute. First, though, we want to turn it over to Hattie McLean out on her patio. Things warmer for now, Hads, but we're talking about some snow in the forecast.
Yeah, we are definitely talking about some accumulating snow coming tonight. Now, we did have a little bit of light snow overnight as expected. It really added up to not more than a dusting here at the station. Here's a look from the WISC-TV Skycam. You're looking at Raymond Road and really no snow on the road. Just a little bit of snow on some of the roofs. That's about it. That snow has already come to an end and moved out of the area. Most of the day today is actually going to be dry. Just cloudy skies this morning. Temperatures, though, are at least a little bit warmer. Yesterday at this time, we were down in the teens, but this morning we're in the mid-30s. There is a wind chill to factor in today, so keep that in mind. Even though high temperatures will be in the upper 30s, close to 40, northwesterly winds will keep a chill in the air today. Now, here's a look at your first alert traffic update. And again, with that light snow overnight, just be aware that some roads may be a little slippery this morning. There haven't been any accidents reported just yet and no major delays developing right now. You're still going at posted speeds as you head into Madison. And that's your first alert traffic.
All right, Hattie, thank you so much. So more than 8 months after crews started ripping up Monroe Street, they are looking forward to ending that work, hopefully, before Thanksgiving.
Fingers crossed. Work was supposed to be finished today. That original end date has been pushed back, but not by much. Christina Laurie is live along Monroe Street this morning with the engineer who's overseeing the project. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, ladies. It's been a busy 8 months for Jim Wolf and his crew, but they're not the only ones who've been busy through this construction. Business owners here along Monroe Street have kind of suffered as well. What kind of communication have you been having with them throughout this process?
So throughout the project, we had weekly update meetings with the contractor, and the private utilities, MG&E, Charter, would all attend those as well. And the businesses had hired kind of a project coordinator for them to work with. So she would attend the meetings with us. We could give them information about sidewalk closures, intersection closures, communicate anything that's going to change for them throughout the project. So every week they kind of get a spreadsheet of the upcoming schedule, and then they could ask questions and kind of pass things through that business coordinator.
And so this road is opening just before Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. What kind of feedback have you been getting from them about that?
So there's a lot of anticipation and excitement about it. One of the best things is it's finishing on schedule, which I know as we were getting weird weather throughout the summer and things, people were getting kind of nervous that wasn't going to get finished in time. So right now it's just a lot of excitement and people preparing for two-way traffic, parking, restoring, and get back to a little bit of normalcy out here.
And looking ahead, the city of Madison already has a long list of construction projects you're turning your focus to next. What are some of those projects?
Absolutely. Each year we kind of do a project outlook. We're getting into design season right now. We'll have major projects in the Near East Side next year, one on East Johnson Street from about 1st Street through Baldwin. And then also we're going to start work on the Blair, John Nolan, Williamson, and Wilson intersection next year. We'll do 2 legs of that intersection, and then in 2021 we'll hopefully finish it up.
Okay, thank you so much for coming out here this morning.
Yeah, of course.
So this project has affected drivers on the west side. You heard that construction projects will move out east next summer. So we know here in Wisconsin, construction season never really ends. But this street will be open starting next Wednesday. That's just 5 days away, Leah and Danica.
Perfect time to get that open for shopping season and for the final Badger game, Christina.
Absolutely, although I don't know how many people are going to be attending that with the cold temperatures and how Wisconsin's been playing this year.
They will bundle up. They'll come out. Don't worry.
That's the Illinois
I'm an
fan
Illinois
in her
fan.
talking about that. Oh, all right. Christina Laurie reporting live for us. Thanks, Christina.
6:32 right now, and stores that sell tobacco products around southern Wisconsin are preparing to make some significant adjustments after the FDA proposed a ban on menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. The agency's also hoping to put more restrictions on flavored e-cigarettes, making sure retailers keep them in a closed-off area that isn't accessible to minors. The popular Juul brand preemptively stopped selling flavored products earlier this week in anticipation of the FDA's announcement. Staff at Knuckleheads on State Street say that keeping nicotine products out of the hands of minors is already a priority, and they have no problem with the proposed regulations. A new report shows vaping has increased by nearly 80% among high schoolers across the country.
With Thanksgiving right around the corner, the USDA is recalling more than 90,000 pounds of raw ground turkey products linked to a salmonella outbreak. You should check your freezer for Jennie-O turkey products with use-by dates of October 1st or 2nd. Regular, taco, and Italian seasoned turkey are all included in that recall. The CDC says there are 74 cases of salmonella that have been linked to raw turkey products, including 6 cases here in Wisconsin. One person has died so far. That outbreak actually started a year ago, but the source was unclear, which means it might be more widespread in the turkey industry.
Governor Scott Walker says his future is unclear in his first public appearance since losing this month's election. Walker told reporters yesterday he has a lot to be proud of looking back on his 8 years in the State House, and that it's been an honor to serve Wisconsin. Walker says he's open to Republicans here in the state limiting executive branch power before Governor-elect Tony Evers is sworn in on January 7th. He also called on senators from both parties to pass a significant tax incentive package for Kimberly-Clark to keep a paper product plant up in the Fox Valley open and keep hundreds of jobs here in Wisconsin.
For a record 9th straight month, Wisconsin's unemployment rate is at or below 3%. New numbers from the state's Department of Workforce Development show the unemployment rate was 3% in October, the same as in August and September. The state actually lost 1,600 private sector jobs between those 2 months, but it was up 32,000 from the previous year.
The city of Janesville is starting to track vacant properties to make sure there's someone to contact about them, even if there's no one there. You're looking at a map here published by the Janesville Gazette. It compiled this map showing the 101 properties listed on the new registry. Those include the former Toys R Us on Milton Avenue and the Monterey Hotel downtown, just to name a couple. Most of those properties so far are residential. Property owners have to pay a $200 fee and identify someone who lives within 90 miles of the city in case there's a crime, fire, or another problem at those properties. The new ordinance does exempt snowbird residencies from the list as long as someone lives there for at least 3 months out of the year. Again, you can find that map over on the Janesville Gazette's website. 6:35 right now. If you are dwelling on the Packers' loss, there is another Wisconsin athlete who might be making up for it this morning.
And there's a final chance to get downtown and snatch up some local goodies for your holiday presents this year, all while enjoying some live music and tasty snacks. Details on the last Madison night market are next on News 3 This Morning. Okay, so we woke up to some snow on the roads, which had me reminiscing about summer. Take a look at this picture from Linda Watson. She posted this on Facebook. That's of Lake Koshkonong. Doesn't that just make you kind of want to cry?
Oh man, I don't know if it's that intense, but
I miss
it does.
summer.
It makes me very zen.
It's a beautiful
If you
shot.
already miss summer, Leah, you are in for a rude few months here coming up. My goodness.
I'm from Wisconsin. You'd think I wouldn't be so upset about winter. That picture, though, let me
Yeah,
tell you.
gorgeous. Yeah, thank you, Linda, for sharing.
What does your morning look like? Take a picture and post it on our Facebook page or on Twitter and use the hashtag MyNews3Morning. We'll share our favorites right here on the program.
So speaking of winter, you do have one last chance to get in your Madison night market this year. The final night market of the year will be held tomorrow from 5 until 10 along Gilman Street. More than 40 vendors will brave the cold for the winter night market. Now, if you'd rather be inside, the Dane County Farmers Market is also starting its holiday market tomorrow at the Monona Terrace Community and Convention Center. That will happen every Saturday from 7:30 until noon until December 22nd.
The organization Dane Buy Local is hoping you're going to buy some more locally made pieces for your wardrobe this season. The head of that group will join County Executive Joe Parisi to look ahead to the holiday shopping season later this morning. The Federal Retail Federation predicts an increase in holiday purchases this year compared to last, with an estimated $717 billion spent in the U.S. There's going to be a press conference at 11:30 this morning to encourage people to spend some of that money in the 600 or so local businesses we have here in Dane County. All right, 6:40 your time now. I am rethinking this whole opening day of hunting thing with the weather that Hattie's talking about Saturday morning. She's talking about slushy, freezing rain, snow, who knows what else headed our way tonight. We're going to check in with Hads next.
Good tracking weather. You got this.
Sure.
And first, it is November 16th. We want to say happy birthday to cute Brooklyn here and all the kiddos turning 3. Thanks for celebrating with us here on News 3 this morning. Welcome back. After months of discussions, voting, and planning, Madison's first pro soccer team will finally have a name and logo this weekend. The club will announce the name, logo, and colors Sunday afternoon. Fans got to vote on what they wanted the team name to be, as well as the color scheme. The organization took all of that into account. The reveal event starts at 1 p.m. on Sunday at the Wisconsin Historical Society in the 800 block of State Street. If you can't go, we will have the representatives from the team joining us on the program Monday morning.
For anyone sad about the Packers' loss to the Seahawks last night, we at least have some good news in baseball to celebrate. Christian Yelich is your new National League MVP. In his debut season with the Milwaukee Brewers, Yelich led the league in batting average, slugging percentage, and OPS. He also had 36 homers, 110 RBIs, and 22 steals. Yelich now joins Ryan Braun as the only other Brewer to win the NL award. Robin Yount and Raleigh Fingers won MVPs when the Crew was in the American League.
That is so good to see. I know I heard of some people kind of disappointed that Craig Counsell didn't win Manager of the Year for the National League. So hearing that Yelich did pull through for that is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I know a lot of folks in the newsroom at least were disappointed that they didn't make it to the World Series.
Yeah, of course.
We're dealing with tough seasons for the Packers and the Badgers, so a little bit of good news, Wisconsin sports-wise, will take it.
Absolutely. Speaking of tough, we want to talk about the snow on the way. And Hattie, you were talking about how the predictions, the outlooks keep changing this morning.
They do. The model's just updated, and if you're a fan of snow, you'll like the trend that we're seeing. Take a look at our alert day forecast for tomorrow. This is the new model prediction snowfall overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. They've upped it by about an inch here in Madison, closer to 4 inches. So you can see that heavier band of snow has been fluctuating up and down, but it's likely to settle right across southern Wisconsin. Anywhere from 1 to 4 inches of snow is possible tonight. Now, for those hunters, there is already some snow on the ground. They'll get a little bit of snow with this particular system in the northern woods, but we're looking at anywhere from 2 to 6 inches in the far north woods. That's snow that's already on the ground. We're going to add our bit of snow overnight tonight here in the southern part of the state. Take a look at future track as we go through the day or through the night into Saturday morning. The snow is already exiting to the east by 7 o'clock. Northerly winds, though, behind this system are going to make it feel pretty cold tomorrow afternoon. Take a look at your temperatures by 5 p.m. Only in the low 20s in the north woods, upper 20s to around 30 here across southern Wisconsin. So definitely a chilly day with the winds and that fresh snow on the ground. We did get a little snow overnight. It's already out of the area this morning. No snow falling right now. We're watching this next system, and it is on the map, generating a mix of precipitation in the Dakotas this morning, where temperatures are at or above freezing. Take a look at your flight delays. No major delays showing up at any of the airports in the region, which is good news. There still may be cancellations and residual delays from yesterday's storm along the East Coast, so plan ahead for that. Your travel weather forecast, though, calls for improving conditions on the East Coast, quiet for the southern tier of the United States and the West Coast. Again, sunshine with 70s for Southern California. Definitely not that warm. We'll be right around 40 here in southern Wisconsin. Cloudy skies this morning, though, will break up for the afternoon. Temperatures early today are at least above freezing in most locations. These numbers are much warmer than they were yesterday at this time. In fact, Madison's at 36 degrees, 35 in the Dells, 38 in Lone Rock. You need to factor in the wind chill this morning, though. Winds from the west-northwest making it feel a little cooler. 40 for a high today in Middleton, as well as Beaver Dam and Watertown. Could see a little bit of sunshine later on today. Temperatures again in the upper 30s to the west, 38 in Prairie du Chien. Platteville tops at 37 degrees, and to the north, 34 in Mauston, as well as Baraboo. Our forecast then for tonight calls for that snow to begin probably after 9 o'clock for most of the area. Then it'll continue to snow all night. Will come to an end early tomorrow morning. Will stick, though. 1 to 4 inches is expected. Tomorrow morning is an alert day. Temps will then just stay cool as we head through the weekend, but it does look dry through most of next week for travel around Thanksgiving.
Nice.
The weather forecast is actually looking pretty nice. Take a look at Harmony and Verona getting an early start on that Thanksgiving travel. I'm just gonna say 2 paws on the wheel. I don't know about that.
I think that's wise.
Hot dog. Low-hanging fruit there.
Cracking herself up this morning. Wow, good stuff.
Thank you, Addie.
You're welcome.
Morning Sprint's coming up next right here on News 3 This Morning. 6:52 time now for the morning sprint. Hattie expects 1 to 4 inches by tomorrow morning across our area. She's preparing us for that snowfall coming to southern Wisconsin.
And Christina Laurie's live on Monroe Street, where 8 months of construction is finally coming to an end. But we start in Waterloo, where dozens of parents are supporting a teacher who resigned after accusations he dragged a 5-year-old student through a hallway. Dozens of Waterloo parents and students gathered out front of the elementary school last night. They say the teacher was well known for his compassion and how much he cared about his students' education. Waterloo police say they are not recommending any charges at this time.
The Barron County Sheriff is asking hunters for their help this weekend as he continues the search for 13-year-old Jamie Kloss. She went missing a month ago now. Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald's asking anyone who's out hunting to report anything suspicious that they may come across. Investigators have already looked into at least 2,300 tips linked to Jamie's disappearance.
The end is in sight for drivers and business owners here along Monroe Street. This Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, 1 day before Black Friday, and 2 days before Small Business Saturday, Monroe will reopen to two-way traffic for the first time in 8 months. The $21 million project was initially projected to be finished today, but the timeline was extended after some additional work had to be done. We talked to project manager James Wolf earlier this morning. He said his crews have made many changes you won't be able to see, replacing water mains and sewer lines, infrastructure advancements that will help this area for generations to come. You can watch our full interviews with James up on our website, channel3000.com.
Thank you, Christina. More than 600 people are now listed as missing, and 66 people are confirmed dead in the California wildfires that continue to sweep across that state. Compare that to the 130 people reported missing just yesterday. Deputies say the list of those missing will be made public with the hopes that some of those folks will report themselves as safe. The so-called Camp Fire is about 40% contained right now, while the Woolsey Fire is at 60%.
There aren't any delays or cancellations popping up quite yet at Dane County Regional Airport this morning, but almost 2,000 flights have already been canceled due to an early winter storm along the East Coast. At least 8 deaths are being blamed on this storm system at this point. Nearly 190,000 homes and businesses were without power at one point in time. This is the earliest snowfall for D.C. in 22 years.
Just a little bit of snow overnight for southern Wisconsin, but mainly dry through the day today. Temperatures starting in the 30s, climbing to highs right around 40 degrees a little bit later on this afternoon. A breezy northwest wind is expected. We have some snow in our forecast for tonight, and alert day is in the area and the forecast for tomorrow. We're looking at 1 to 4 inches of snow across southern Wisconsin tonight.
Hattie, thank you. Governor Scott Walker is not saying whether President Trump offered him a job. He spoke to reporters for the first time since losing this month's election yesterday, saying he's open to state Republicans limiting executive branch powers before Governor-elect Tony Evers is sworn in on January 7th. Now, Walker also called on senators to pass a significant tax incentive package for Kimberly-Clark to keep a production plant open in the Fox Valley area.
The USDA is recalling more than 91,000 pounds of raw ground turkey products linked to a salmonella outbreak. You should check your freezer for Jennie-O turkey products with use-by dates of October 1st or 2nd. The CDC says there are 74 cases of salmonella that have been linked to raw turkey products. That includes 6 cases here in Wisconsin. 1 person has died.
Stores that sell tobacco products around southern Wisconsin are preparing to make some major adjustments after the FDA proposed a ban on menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. The agency is also looking at new restrictions on flavored e-cigarettes, ensuring retailers keep them in closed-off areas that aren't accessible to minors. Staff at Knuckleheads on State Street here in Madison say keeping underage customers from buying nicotine products is already a priority. Vaping has increased by nearly 80% among high schoolers nationwide.
The Packers have a long break before playing the Vikings the Sunday after Thanksgiving after a tough loss to the Seahawks last night. The Packers took an early lead in Seattle, starting the game with a fumble recovery and scoring 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. But with about 5 minutes left in the game, former Badger Russell Wilson connected with Ed Dixon in the end zone, and the Packers lose 27-24. There's only a 30% chance at this point they'll make the playoffs.
An estimated 999,000 Wisconsinites plan to drive somewhere for Thanksgiving, and the Postal Service wants to remind you there's a tool to track your mail when you're not at home. The Informed Delivery Service allows you to digitally preview some of your mail to make sure there's nothing important sitting in the mail inbox, that is. And starting early next year, the site will also allow customers to sign for deliveries electronically.
6:56 your time now. Let's turn it over to Jason Jason Stone with a look at your First Alert traffic. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. We have some slowing down on the eastbound Beltline between the West Broadway and Monona Drive exits. Otherwise, drivers are moving at the posted speed limit. The only congestion on the entrance ramps. Drivers on John Nolan are moving well with only minor congestion at the Rimrock and North Shore intersections. With your First Alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Thanks, Jason. Have a good weekend.
Well,
And you shouldn't have too many troubles getting to work this morning or getting home from work this afternoon. Just cloudy skies this morning across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures are starting in the 30s. We'll climb to highs right around 40 today with a little bit of sunshine for the afternoon. Snow then spreads into the area after 8 o'clock tonight, and it accumulates 1 to 4 inches for southern Wisconsin.
Good tracking weather out there. Good luck to all the hunters out there, including me, and have a good weekend.